Tim Mahoney is back tonight to recap what's been happening in the Hollywood legal world this year. Hi, Tim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. A lot happened in 2023.
And we covered quite a bit of it. So the first thing that we looked at was the Ed Sheeran case over the song "Shape of You," and he got sued by somebody who said you stole our lyrics, you stole our song, and this was in England. Well, he won that lawsuit, and so it was found that he didn't take over their song, but then he countersued for his legal fees. And the lower court just recently ordered that the people that sued him pay him $1.1 million in legal fees. So not only was he successful in terms of defending the case, but now he's gotten $1.1 million of his legal fees, and that case is now going up on appeal. So, that's one of those situations.
For him.
Yeah. So not only did he win, he's won again and again. So the second one we looked at was Gwyneth Paltrow, and she got sued for a skiing incident in Utah. And this case really came down to a ski instructor's testimony as to what actually happened.
Sure.
And that instructor was great in terms of, look, here's the situation and here's what happened, and there's rules, there's etiquette that you're supposed to follow. And under the terms of the etiquette, she wasn't doing anything wrong and he was supposed to get out of her way. So that's another one of those lawsuits that ended up with, not only did he not get anything, but he was ordered to pay $1 towards her legal fees. And this is where lawyers, you gotta have to watch out for the what the heck, oh crap syndrome, where, because that wreck initially occurred in 2016. They filed the lawsuit in 2019. It just went to trial this year in 2023. And they spent a lot of money trying to prosecute that case to get a big zero. So that was one of those situations where it's like, be careful what you do when you go and file a lawsuit, because it can end up working against you. Those are two examples of that. Then Eva Green, and we never spoke about this one. So she's an actress. She was a Bond girl in a James Bond movie. She was in Spartans 300, Rise of the Empire. She was in that movie. So she was hired to do a movie by this company, White Lantern Films, and there was a fallout between her and the company. She sued because they were supposed to pay her $1 million in order to do this movie. They countersued, saying that she technically destroyed the whole company because the movie never got made, and then she said all kinds of not very nice things about the director and the producers of the movie. This is a really good example of what judges do. And, nobody ever is the advocate for judges. Nobody's out there talking about what they do. This was a case that was tried in front of a judge. And there was all of these different things that were thrown out there, that she said all of this, very, very, very derogatory stuff towards the director and towards the production company. And there was all of these things. And the judge cut through all of that and said, look, even though her testimony wasn't very well prepared and she didn't have good responses as to why she said these things, they didn't produce anything that showed that she didn't show up ready to make the movie. Very significantly. So the judge ruled in her favor and said, you guys owe her the $1 million, and threw out the lawsuit that they countersued, saying to destroy the company, and said, look, she might have said all of these things that were not very great, and she's an actress and she's an artist, but at the end of the day, she showed up ready to work, and you didn't prove that she didn't show up ready to work. So the judge really, I think, did a great job in that particular one, and she ended up successful.
3 wins for the celebs.
So, well, criminally, if you look at celebs criminally, it is much harder to prosecute a celebrity and be successful. But if they are convicted, their sentences tend to be much more significant and egregious than the non-celebrities. So the last one is the Michael Oher case, which we talked about. I'm really interested to see what the fallout is from this whole thing. So it turns out that Michael Oher actually wasn't adopted by the family as it was shown in the movie, as everybody has thought up till now, that he was actually part of a conservatorship, which we talked about that at length when we went over the Britney Spears stuff, what we would call a guardianship here in Illinois. So he was part of a conservatorship and says that he never knew that. Well, the conservatorship got thrown out, and the Tuohy family said, look, if he doesn't want to be in the conservatorship, but the whole question is, why was he ever in a conservatorship? In Tennessee, an 18-year-old can volunteer themselves to be adopted. Not every state can you do that, but you can in Tennessee, you can in Illinois. So he could have been adopted like they said he was. They could have just done this with a power of attorney. They said they wanted to help him manage his money and manage all of this. Plus, they needed some sort of relationship in order to license him in school when he went to college. Okay, but why a conservatorship? And he consented to it even though the petition for the conservatorship said that he doesn't have any type of of a disability, which is that's what you need to have for consent. So it'll be interesting to see the fallout of that case, where the money went, what actually happened. I mean, the Tuohys are worth hundreds of millions of dollars, so I'm curious as to see where that goes.
We'll have to follow along in 2024.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
Well, thank you for being a part of the show all year, and we'll see you in 2024 too.
It's always my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, the big milestone, one of your favorite Disney movies is celebrating, and then Claire's here from Tadmore Tailoring. Tell us why you've been seeing ugly Christmas sweaters all over Rockford this week. We'll be right back.